the challenging economic climate, but then also a one-off impairment of receivables. But despite this setback, rentals and sales income remain the primary revenue streams for the Botswana Housing Corporation. The results come during the first year of the Botswana Housing Corporation's pretty bold long-term strategic plan. In that, there is included the delivery of 100,000 housing units, is included doubling the revenue is also to 1.5 billion. Also, the promotion of social inclusion, which will be directing 30%, which means directing 30% of the corporation's spending to marginalize the community. So we take a look at all that this afternoon. We sit with the Botswana Housing Corporation's acting chief executive officer, Pascaline Sefawe, to discuss the BHC's performance and everything around there, how they're navigating the way forward. Well, let me take this time to welcome you, Ms. Sefawe. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Right. Okay. So we do mention that, yes, the corporation is according to these results, is recording a loss for the first time. What a blow. Or is it something that you have already braced yourself for as a corporation? Yeah.
Yes, actually, if you look at our results, we have recorded a loss after tax of 104 million. And for us as BHC, it's the first time that we've made a loss in over 20 years. So it has been a shocker to us as the business, but it has been a learning as well, because this loss is not coming out of operations. You've just stated that our rental revenues have gone up. Our revenues from construction projects have also gone up. So the major contributor to this loss is the impairment of a receivable from one of our major customers.
Yeah.
And we take it that it's going to be a once-off. It will not affect our financial performance going forward.
Right. So perhaps maybe just to establish for some that might not be very clear on the clear picture, the full picture of your mandate as a housing corporation. Yes, affordable housing is part of what you do. But then if you could just sum up briefly what your mandate is. We are looking at a corporation that is charged with doing what overall?
Okay. As the BHC, we are a state-owned entity that is charged with provision of housing. We provide housing for individual Botswana. Our houses are available for rental and for sale. And over and above that, we provide housing to government as well as to the local authorities. So that is our major mandate. We are also mandated with partnering with the private sector to create housing schemes and provide housing to Botswana throughout the country.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we're talking, well, we're looking at your broad mandate, and we're talking that you've charted a way forward, and that we call pretty bold. I want you to get into that. Is what motivated or led you to coming into discussing of drawing up such a strategy, and where is the strategy taking the corporation from here on forth?
Okay, our new strategy started in April this year. It's a strategy that is going to be taking us from 2025 to 2030. And if you recall, we also have a big mandate, a bold and audacious goal coming from our shareholder, which is the government, for us to build 100,000 houses in the next 2 years as the BHC. So normally when we do our strategies at BHC, we align it with our strategy with the NDP or with the government agenda. So that is why you see in our strategy that we have that bold and audacious goal of delivering 100,000 houses in the next 2 years.
But that's not the only thing that is quite worth mentioning from the strategy. Not only just the deliverable of the housing units, you're also talking about just growing the size of your pie, but you're also talking about your responsibility also towards the society that you're operating in. Let's also mention that.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, in our strategy we actually have three pillars. The first pillar relates to the delivery of the 100,000 housing units. The second pillar relates to doubling our revenue to 1.5 billion. If you look at our recently released financial statements, you'll see that we are at a revenue of about 740 million. So we want to double that. We've been hovering around 800 million in the last 5 years. And then we are now setting ourselves a big target. Given the fact that we are going to be delivering 100,000 houses, you can imagine the number of houses that we are going to be renting out to individuals, as well as the number of houses that we are going to be selling. So that is what is driving our revenues to 1.5 billion. And then the other big goal that we've set for ourselves is that we have reserved 30% of our procurement spend for the marginalized groups. Marginalized groups, we are referring to youth, women, and people living with disabilities.
Okay.
So that is another bold one, because we are saying that we need to support these marginalized groups and grow them as part of our strategy.
Okay, well, from the take of how do you design to go towards that? What is it that you have in mind is what I'm asking, really.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. In terms of the social inclusion, it's actually something that we've been doing, I have to say. As part of us, in the last 5 years, we have even been issuing tenders where we target youth, women, and people living with disabilities.
Okay.
But we've not been measuring it. We've not been very intentional about it. So in this strategy, we said we need to set ourselves a target, so that now it's very clear on what we are going to deliver and we can measure ourselves.
Okay.
So that's what where we are going. So what we normally do is that out of our projects, they are the ones that we unbundle them, like make smaller packages of maybe 5 houses or less, and those five houses or less will be targeted towards these groups.
Okay.
And then the other initiative that we do internally is that we also mentor and train these these contractors.
Maybe while we're there, let's also speak to what it is that is in your policy or in your terms or your plans as the corporation when we're talking about, because the buzzword now about approaching economic development in our country is public, private, and community partnerships. So what have you set yourself up to do as the Housing Corporation, just to extend on the point that you were just making? Yeah.
Okay. Actually, if you look at 100,000 it's not something that we can deliver on our own as BHC. We are actually banking on public-private partnerships to deliver on this big mandate. So we are going to be doing a lot of work with the private sector in terms of the delivery of this housing. We've actually recently flighted an EOI where we are calling potential investors and developers who can partner with us in the delivery. And we received quite a lot of interest. Almost 217 submissions came through, which shows just that the private sector is also, willing to come on board, to come and support this big government initiative. So right now we are working on proposals. The initial request for proposal that we are doing is for almost 12,000 housing units in various locations across the country.
Right.
So really the future is the private sector. We also believe that it will accelerate housing delivery.
Yes.
The private sector will also come up with innovative ways of doing things to bring efficiencies and also make sure that we do achieve on our goals.
And I'm glad that you mentioned efficiencies, because in today's fast-paced world, and fast-paced to the level of even inflicting some stressful outcomes on citizens generally, efficiency, of service, what do you have in place then with these rather ambitious goals to ensure operational efficiencies are still up to par, or probably even enhanced? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually one of the key priority areas that we identified is operational effectiveness for us to be able to deliver on this strategy. So we put in place a unit that will just be what we would call a planning unit, just to make sure that we bring efficiencies into the way we are doing things at BHC. And even as we partner with private sector, we are going to be looking at things like making sure that there's speed in terms of delivery. That is very key. And we are banking on the private sector to also help us accelerate the housing delivery. So efficiencies, we also believe that it will also bring us price reductions for our customers, because as BHC, our major mandate is to provide affordable housing.
Right. Actually, that was going to be my next question about affordable housing, is what it is that you have in place to go there, because of course that would be one of the things that are in the interest of the public. Yes. Okay. But I want to speak, by way of wrapping up, maybe give you this opportunity, because as we are in this new phase with this strategy ahead of us as the corporation. What do you say to yourselves as a parastatal and your team, to the public that you're servicing, to the government that is your major client? What is it that you are saying, in terms of the strategy that you have ahead for them to to work with you in tandem?
Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank my team for the work, the many hours that they've put in for us to conclude on this strategy, and to say to them that we have a value that we've put in a strategy of agility, that we will really have to move with speed to make sure that we serve our customers.
Yes.
And to our customers, I want to thank them. Our customers are mainly Botswana. They've been supporting us to be where we are today, and to assure them that we are working round the clock going forward to provide affordable housing.
Yes.
And this time is going to be for every Botswana. We want to include every Botswana in our affordable housing going forward, so that it's affordable, whether it's rental or whether it's selling, or where people who want to rent to own. We are looking at that as well to be able to accommodate everybody. And to government, to say that we will not let them down. We will coordinate this project and make sure that it's a success.
Okay, and the Botswana that is hearing this good news and seeing how it is that they also farm, your arms are open, or your doors are open to them in the partnerships that you just mentioned, your EOI that just went out. How accessible are you, the Housing Corporation? Is it here in Gaborone? Or is somebody in Kasane also provided for?
Okay.
Yeah, how spread? What's your footprint, and perhaps how do we reach you as well as a parting shot? Yeah.
Okay. As BHC, we have quite a reasonable geography spread. We have 14 offices across the country. In the south, we are in Kayen, Molepolole, Gaborone, Phalape, Francistown, Kasane, Maung. So we are spread all over. And then we also have smaller satellite offices in some places like Hukunzi, Sabong, for example. So we are quite reachable. I'll encourage Botswana to come through to our offices at any point, at any location. We're going to be issuing some expression of interest, because we want to know how many Botswana will be interested in renting and buying these properties in the very near future. Right. So I really encourage Botswana to respond accordingly and to visit our offices. We are also going to be doing it through technology, just to make sure that even where we don't have offices, people can still access our services. Okay,
where do we find you on the socials? Is it Botswana Housing Corporation?
Yeah, it's Botswana Housing Corporation. Thank you.
Let me thank you, Ms. Sefawe. That's all the time that I have.
Thank you.
Okay, speaking here with the acting Chief Executive Officer at the Botswana Housing Corporation. And we were just reflecting on the recently released financials of the year ending March 31st, 2025, because a loss that we're realizing there. Of course, she explained it away there. But then speaking more importantly on the way forward with the corporation, their interests in public-private community partnership, and their interest in even marginalized groups, social protection there, social inclusion, that they are dedicating 30% of what it is that they make to some marginalized groups. So that's where I wrap it up. Do look them up on the socials and the 14 offices and wherever else that you find the Botswana Housing Corporation, so you can be a part of affording Botswana, getting Botswana affordable housing together with the BHC. And that's a wrap. From us here at the Botswana Connects at 2 p.m. you come on to In Context with Kailo Sabon. Zola wika yeron.
Motse wa Tlhariselele o fitlhelwa mo kgaolong ya borwa jwa lefatshe leno. Ke motse o go fitlhelwa morafe wa Basotho